Welcome back to the Lisbonian Lifestyle. I'm your host, Igor Kafetz. I don't care what you do, you're probably going to have to network and you're probably going to have to talk to other people and try to leverage your relationship with them in order to get what you want. Whether big or small, your goals will be largely dependent on your ability to get other people to do your bidding. And so, for that, I wanted to share with you three networking tips I use all the time, anytime I go to a party or a seminar or any kind of networking environment where I am required to perform at a high level in order to get other people to like me, trust me, and want to work with me. So this episode is extremely practical, and I'm revealing some really, really advanced networking techniques. I'm Igor Kafetz, and this is the List Building Lifestyle, the podcast for anyone who wants to build a wildly profitable email list working from home. If you'd like to make six figures, travel the world, and help people improve their lives in the process, this podcast is for you. I also invite you to claim a free copy of my best-selling book, The List Building Lifestyle: Confessions of an Email Millionaire, at igorsbook.com. Get the free book plus $3,000 bonus package that includes my best capture page templates, email swipe files, and traffic blueprints. Visit www.igorsbook.com for details. And now, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. They say your net worth is your network. And I really started feeling that in the last few years in my business because starting out, it wasn't about the network. It was more about my ability to drive traffic to an offer, which a lot of times resulted in me just buying media. And I didn't require a network per se in order to succeed. My network was pretty tiny. It was really, really small compared to some of the other people's networks, especially the ones who do product launches and recruit affiliates and stuff like that. However, in recent years, I have been incorporating the model of joint venture mailings, and I've been really getting out there, and I'm starting to realize just how important your network is and how it can actually define your success. In fact, I was just connecting earlier today with Ryan Levesque's GV manager, who almost nonchalantly mentioned they can put 2,500 people in a webinar, which is more than I know that some companies the size of Agora are able to put on a webinar, which means they're really, really big. But the thing is that Ryan Levesque is predominantly doing product launches, and his list was built off of the back of other people mailing for him, which means that he was able to achieve in a really short span of time incredible list growth simply because his network supported that. His network of people who promote his offers. So I find it to be fascinating because you can be really toiling away at an outcome for many, many years, but then you can meet one or two people that can really propel you forward with relation to that particular outcome, which is why over the years, over the last few years, I've been joining these expensive masterminds that cost $20,000 a year in hopes to expand my network and to really try and increase my reach just through the means of just handshakes. And what I've been discovering is that the industry does work like that, where you shake enough hands and you get to the right people, and that one connection can bring in a lot of success your way. In fact, just associating with some other person alone can make everyone else in that circle want to work with you because they respect and admire this other person. I've seen this many times with my own offer where one high-profile JV picked it up, and I'm not going to say what I had to do to get them to do it, but they picked it up, and because the entire industry is spying on them, they all hit me up and they're like, hey, I want to run this offer too. Because for them, that's like the ultimate test. If this other successful person ran the offer, then they want to run the offer. So I want to give you a tip for your networking, because one thing is being able to join an expensive mastermind or to get into a room full of people. It's a whole other experience to try and get these people to work with you. And one tip I'll give you is that I don't actually talk to people about working with me most of the time. I used to be a very straightforward. I grew up in Israel. I was born in Ukraine, but I grew up in Israel. And in Israel, everyone is super straightforward. They really shoot it straight. They're kind of like, it's as if they're from Texas, but on steroids. They, whatever they want from you, they'll actually ask for it straight up. There's gonna be no apologies about it, no queasiness about it. They won't hold back. And just so you understand, one time an Israeli came up to me and he really admired what I was doing and he really wanted to work with me in some way. And the first question he asked me was, "So, how much are you making?" Like it goes to tell you that, it goes to show you that Israelis will shoot straight, and I come from that environment. So the first time I went to a seminar, which was in London, that's how I was. I really had no idea there's a culture difference between someone like me and someone who's from London or from New York or from, well, probably less so from New York. New Yorkers are pretty straightforward too. But, I kind of had to learn it the hard way because I would shoot straight and I would ask for joint ventures. I would ask for connections. I would really ask for what I wanted without much preamble. Like for me at the time, the whole idea of, hey, how you doing, where you from, all this stuff was kind of like trivial. It's like, yeah, let's get past that and let's just get straight to making money, because I assumed everybody was like me and they just wanted to make a lot of money. But what I've discovered is it's quite the opposite. And incidentally, it was an Israeli friend of mine who taught me this. As somebody who's really experienced in the Western markets, his name is Itai Paz. He's a dear, dear friend of mine. And he, one time we went to a seminar in Vegas together, and he told me to stop being so upfront and to do more schmoozing. I said, "What the hell is schmoozing?" He said, "Well, it's like the non-business stuff. You just hang out." I was like, "What? But aren't they all paying to go to this seminar to go make some money?" It's like, "Yeah, but you don't talk about the money. You don't talk about doing business. You just schmooze." And that seminar, I did exactly what he told me. And I basically did not mention any business stuff at all. I didn't talk about my business goals. I didn't try to get them to promote my stuff. I didn't mention my podcast. I didn't do anything businessy at all. I just hung out with these people. We basically had dinners together, drank together, had fun together. I told anecdotes. I was basically trying to be more of a fun person to be around. And this changed the game. All of a sudden, people wanted to work with me because I was fun. I was a fun guy. As simple as that. I mean, it sounds so weird and counterintuitive and almost back ass words, but people want to work with people who they like. And what's really interesting is that the less I talk about business, the less I try to get people to work with me in some capacity, the more they're open to the whole idea. So at some point after the relationship has been developed, all I have to do is just say, "Oh, and by the way, what do you think of the idea of blank? What do you think of the idea of us doing this project together?" And because there's been so much positivity associated in within our relationship with this person, we're both open to all sorts of projects because we've now grown to like each other. And that's really been key to my networking. Now, at first, I did find it a bit difficult because I thought I had to be a hypocrite, for the lack of a better word. Like I thought I had to really go and befriend people that I didn't like, or try to take interest in what they liked, even though I didn't like what they liked. I thought I was supposed to agree with them about their political beliefs and stuff like that. But you know what? That actually wasn't true. I did retain a part of my Israeli personality, and I basically stayed true to my core values. Like if we're having a political discussion, I'm not necessarily bashing their opinion, but I'm also not agreeing with them. If we talk religion, if we talk, different controversial topics, I express my honest opinion in a non-toxic way, and we are still able to respect each other and still continue to like each other. In fact, what I'm finding is that if you do stay true to your values, people respect that and they find it refreshing because most of the time, when you connect with people in the business environment, when you're trying to network, everyone's fucking fake. Let's face it. We've all been there. We've all seen that. We've all seen the smiles that move, the lips move up, but the eyes don't move at all, right? We've seen that before. And I hate that. I absolutely despise that, this fake facade. where I have no idea if I can actually trust the person in front of me. I also hate it when people are way too nice. That's another thing I really don't like. Like if you know how like something can be sweet to a point where it's not tasty anymore, like it's too sweet. Like that's how I find some people, they're being too nice. No one's that nice, really. Nobody's that nice of a person. Everybody has their opinions. Everyone has their, personality quirks. So I'm just trying to stay true to who I am, but at the same time, be a fun person to be around. And that as a networking tool is just very, very effective. And at the same time, I don't feel like a sleazy douchebag, having to pretend I'm someone that I'm not. Now, of course, there's some other, more of a physical, I guess, tips that I can give you. I actually recommend reading the book called The Like Switch, because it gives you lots of different cues and tools on how to be a little bit more likable. But one thing I'll tell you is this: smile more. Just if you're at a networking event, just smile more. Walk around the room and smile, because what you think you're smiling. Okay, I'll give you this. I'll tell you this. You think you're smiling, but you're not. You think you've got a friendly face, but you don't. Your face will be friendlier if you really extend that smile, like from ear to ear, and walk around the room just being someone who appears to be approachable. Because at every single seminar or networking event, I'll see people either kind of, getting sucked into their thoughts or something, or thinking about a problem, or just sitting there and not thinking about anything at all. But their face is like it's made of stone. If they only smiled a bit, they would be a little bit more approachable, and then they would make way more connections. Again, another lesson I had to learn the hard way, because I'm not a smiley type of personality. But now, anytime I network, even if I get on a Zoom call, I actually don't look at my counterpart on the during the conversation. I look at myself. I look at my own face when I talk to anyone on Zoom, to make sure that I am smiling. And the moment I see my face go frown again, right? And because I'm Ukrainian by origin, so my face is pretty. What's the word? I don't want to say brutal, but it's not necessarily the most. It's not a Jim Carrey kind of face. That's always fun to look at. It's more of a Jason Statham kind of face, where it's like it's as if I've got constipation. Like it's not unless I'm really, really smiling. I'm not friendly looking. So now when I'm having Zoom calls, I'll be looking at myself, and the moment I see my the corners of my mouth go down, I'm literally picking them up. I'm literally trying to smile almost too much, almost like a Joker smile, right? Borderlines, appearing crazy, but that's still better than appearing like you're about to kick someone's ass. So between these two things, just schmooze more and smile more, I think you'll become at least 80% more effective when you network. Thank you for listening to The List Building Lifestyle. Get access to the previous episodes, transcript of today's show, as well as other exclusive content at listbuildingLifestyleShow.com. Also remember to claim your free copy of my best-selling book at www.igorsbook.com. It explains how I made millions with list building starting from scratch. Plus, I'll give you $3,000 worth of free bonuses, including my best landing page templates, email swipe files, and traffic blueprints. Go to www.igorsbook.com now to claim your free package.